Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to guide you through this one because we are looking at a true unsung hero of our modern infrastructure. We constantly hear about materials like gold, silver, or lithium, right? But there is a hidden champion literally holding our modern world together. Today, we're diving deep into chromite, which is often called the black gold of industry. So let's just jump right in and uncover the secrets of a material that is probably sitting in your house right now without you even realizing it. What black rock builds cities and protects rockets? Okay, I know. It sounds like a riddle. Honestly, if you were just out for a hike and stumbled across this rock in nature, you'd probably just kick it aside. It looks incredibly ordinary, just a dark, heavy stone. But this seemingly basic rock is actually the secret ingredient that powers modern civilization and allows some of our most advanced technologies to even exist in the first place. Let's find out exactly what this mystery mineral actually is. Section 1. The mystery mineral? Unveiling chromite. So let's talk chemistry for a second. The formula, FeCr2O4, is what makes this rock so special. Chromite is the primary ore where we get chromium. And as you can see from the formula, it's a unique combination of iron, chromium, and oxygen. In its raw, natural state out in the wild, this mineral is incredibly dense and super hard. If you held a chunk of it right now, you'd notice it ranges from dark brown to a really deep black, and it has this kind of dull metallic shine to it. Sure, it doesn't look like a shiny, precious gem, but its true value is entirely in that chemistry. Here's the absolute kicker: what we actually extract from this dense black rock. When industries process chromite, they pull out chromium. And chromium basically gives other metals superpowers. We're talking incredible strength, massive heat resistance, and brilliant corrosion resistance. Seriously, without these three superpowers that we extract from chromite, the vast majority of the manufactured products we use every single day simply wouldn't exist. They would break, they'd melt, or they'd just rust away into nothing. Section 2. The global hunt. Where is chromite found? Looking at the global map, one thing just completely jumps out at you. South Africa is the absolute heavyweight champion here. They produce nearly 50% of the world's entire chromite supply. That is a massively dominating presence. Now, we also see major production from Kazakhstan, India, Turkey, Zimbabwe, and Finland. But Pakistan is actually a huge player too, with incredibly important deposits located in regions like Muslim Bog, Kanazai, Zob, and various other parts of Balochistan. These specific mining regions are absolutely vital for both local industries and global exports. Section 3. Extraction and processing, bringing the black gold to the surface. So, how do we actually get it out of the ground? Well, the extraction method depends entirely on geography. Mostly, how deep is the chromite buried? Open-pit mining is the go-to when deposits are sitting right near the surface. It's an exercise in massive scale. Think gigantic excavators just scraping away the top layer of soil and rock to expose the ore. But if that chromite is buried deep beneath the Earth's surface, the operation shifts completely to underground mining. That is way more complex. We're talking intricate tunnel systems, specialized drilling machines, and highly controlled blasting techniques just to safely shatter the rock and bring it up to the surface. But the work definitely doesn't stop once the rock leaves the mine. It goes right into a rapid three-step refinement pipeline. See, raw ore is super heavy and mixed with a lot of useless rock. So step 1, it gets completely crushed down into manageable pieces. Step 2, it's washed thoroughly to remove all the dirt and impurities. And step 3, it's concentrated. This just guarantees that by the time it gets loaded onto trucks or trains to head to processing plants, the industries are getting the most potent, highest-grade material possible. Section 4. Superpowers in action, powering modern industries. This next dot just puts everything into immediate perspective. A massive 90% of all the chromium we extract goes directly into producing stainless steel. Just think about that for a second. The sink in your kitchen, the forks and spoons you eat with, the surgical tools in hospitals, the massive structural beams holding up skyscrapers, the vast majority of this black rock is the secret ingredient keeping all of those things completely rust-free. The other 10% goes to other uses, which we'll get into, but stainless steel is the undisputed king here. And what's really fascinating is there's a very specific chemical threshold for this. For steel to officially earn the title of stainless steel, it literally has to contain a minimum of 10.5% chromium. That exact number is the magic threshold. Without that 10.5%, it's just regular steel. And trust me, it will eventually succumb to the elements and rust. But hey, rust prevention isn't its only superpower. 1500 degrees Celsius, That is unbelievably hot. Chromite is actually used to manufacture these highly specialized refractory bricks. They line the insides of massive furnaces in steel and cement factories. These places operate at just extreme, blistering temperatures. And it's the chromite in those bricks that allows them to withstand heat upwards of 1,500 degrees Celsius without melting or breaking down. So, what about that remaining 10%? Well, it opens up a wildly diverse list of high-tech and everyday applications. Because of that insane heat resistance, chromium is used to make superalloys for aircraft jet engines, gas turbines, and yes, even rockets heading to space. But it's also in the chemical compounds for vibrant paints and pigments. It's absolutely essential in leather tanning and preserving wood. It's heavily used in chemical manufacturing, and, of course, the one we all know, chrome plating, giving cars, motorcycles, and household items that beautiful, shiny, mirror-like finish, all while completely protecting them from corrosion. It's just an incredibly versatile mineral. Section 5. The Invisible Shield, Unseen but Essential. Okay, this is the absolute crucial takeaway today. Chromium protects steel by forming an invisible protective layer that prevents rust. It doesn't just mix in like an ingredient and hope for the best. On a microscopic level, chromium reacts with the oxygen in the air to form this ultra-thin, completely invisible shield over the surface of the steel. And get this, if the steel gets scratched, that invisible shield literally heals itself and reforms on the spot. It is quite literally an unseen force field holding the modern infrastructure of our world together, without any of us even noticing. Before we wrap up, though, I have to share this wild little quirk about the raw mineral itself. Even though it contains iron, chromite itself is not magnetic. Remember earlier when we talked about its formula, FeCr2O4? The Fe literally stands for iron, so you would naturally assume a heavy rock full of iron would stick right to a magnet, right? Nope. Due to its very specific crystalline structure, it doesn't. It's just this wonderful little paradox that geologists and miners have to keep in mind out in the field. And that brings us to our final thought. Could modern society even exist without this hidden black gold? Honestly, from the gleaming skyscrapers in our cities, to the ultra-clean tools in our operating rooms, right up to the rockets pushing us into the future, the whole shebang just doesn't work without chromite. So the next time you wash your hands in a stainless steel sink or look out the window of a jet plane, I hope you remember the totally ordinary-looking black rock that makes it all possible. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you next time.